anyway, so the idea here is we're doing all the hats, right? We're doing the bookkeeping. We're doing everything. We're the receptionist in our office. We're doing every single thing. Well, we're not going to love every single thing. Some of it's going to be evil necessities you have to do because you're a businesswoman. And sometimes, you know, if you get big enough, maybe you can hire someone to do that evil necessity for you. But meanwhile, you have to wear all these hats. And so some of these hats are a real good, feel good. And so what you want to do is you want to find your joy in passion parties. So your joy might be the parties. You might be doing a gazillion, you know, Susan Clark. Susan Clark is a $1 Million Club member who loves doing parties. She'll get, and she's in Montana. My God, she's all over that state. She does 20 parties in a month. I've seen her do, I think the top that I knew she had was something like 25 parties in a month. And she drives all over Montana doing parties, has a great time. By the way, right now she says her average party is about $800 in Montana, okay? So the point is that's her happy space, and she knows it. And so that's what she does. And I applaud her for it because that is her happy space, and that's what she wants to do. You have to find out what your happy space is. Maybe your happy space is helping one of your customers, not physically helping, but explaining to one of your customers how to have her first orgasm. Maybe that's your happy space. And I know women in this business who really have affected another woman's life by helping them verbally through the process of having her first orgasm. Maybe it's just teaching sensuality that you like to do. Maybe that's your happy space. Or maybe your happy space is being a leader. Maybe you like to coach your team, or you like to teach your team, or you like to just be a cheerleader and rah-rah everyone. I don't care what it is, but you should pay attention to what it is. Because whatever it is, that's where you want to wrap your whole business around that happy space. You don't want to wander away from it and only be doing things that are not feeding your happy soul. So find your joy within the Passion Parties business. And there's, you know, we wear so many hats. I'm sure there's no problem. You will find your joy. So find your joy in the Passion Party business, and always remember, this is my happy space, and you can always default back to it. Okay, the next one is, set small, reachable daily goals. Now, this is because women in general, and I'm sure this is true for men too, but I really know it's true for women, is women tend to overload themselves, especially in a daily kind of way. You know, between the kids, the housework, the whatever else we've got going, and our businesses, we tend to just overwhelm our stuff with massive amounts of lists that can't possibly humanly be done in one day. And so what ends up is you create this giant list, and then what do you feel like? You feel like you're a failure if you don't get through your list. So I'm a big believer in the book Eat That Frog. I don't know if you are familiar with that book. I'm sure a lot of you are. But in Eat That Frog, there's a list. You create a list, and you do a daily list. And the way I do it is I believe you do it the night before, because you are the boss the night before, and you're an employee when you wake up in the morning. So the boss does the list without any kind of emotion, puts it on the desk, and the employee, the same person, gets up in the morning, and there's your list, and you just do the list. So the key about that list is it needs to be prioritized. A is the things that absolutely have to do, the world's going to end if you don't do this today. B is what would be really, really wonderful, and you know, it'd be great if you got that done. C would just be, well, it'd be nice if you got this done. D is to delegate to someone else, and E is to eliminate and scratch off the list, which, you know, I never get any of those. So anyway, you make, I don't care how long this list is. I don't care, and actually, I applaud you to make that list as long as possible. And the reason is not to get it all done. The reason is to get it out of your head, because it's hanging around your head and it's making you feel overwhelmed. So write down every stupid thing you can possibly think of on that list. Now, and remember, you're the boss the night before while you're doing this. So now prioritize, and only have about 2 or 3 A's. Don't get crazy with your A's. Because then if you end up having everything be an A, well, you're back to square one with the same problem. So just have a few A's, and I don't care what letter of the alphabet you put the rest of them, because it doesn't matter, because you only have to do your A's. So the next day you get up, there's your list, you're ready to go, and you only have to do your A's, and if you did your A's, celebrate, and if you want to go on to your B's, fine. But it doesn't matter, because the A's were the important thing, and you should celebrate that you did it. And so even though the idea is to make a big long list, don't ever believe you have to do this big long list. You're only prioritizing with just 2 or 3 items a day, and you're fine. Okay, so the next, and by the way, that book is by Brian Tracy. If anyone's interested, it's called Eat That Frog, and it's really a great book. Okay, so then the next one, number 5, is create an affirmation. Now, you probably have all heard affirmations before. Affirmations are positive statements said out loud in the present tense of what goal that you want to achieve. Now, does anybody do affirmations here? Is anybody brave enough to share their affirmation? Christine, I won't do it. Do you want to share yours?
I don't know if I choose it.
No? Anybody else?
She's Spain, right?
Doc Mice.
Yes, Doc Mike.
Doc Mai would like to share hers.
Okay, Doc Mice, stand up and share your affirmation.
Pow! Doc Mike. Actually, it's not really mine. Yes, it
Okay,
is.
that's good.
It's yours.
You can still, anyone.
Okay.
We like your affirmations.
I know, let me think.
We can't hear you.
Speak into the breasts.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
My calendar is full of parties. Orders pour in every day. My passion team is growing. I'm a success in every way. I am a Passion Parties Executive Director.
Woo! Okay, that's right. We talked about affirmations and having them rhyme just to make it easy to say. That's great. And that's said in the present, and it's the goal she wants to achieve. Now, let's say your brain is fighting with this, and you're thinking, yeah, that's not really going to happen. So let's say I'm going to do a bigger affirmation. I'm going to do a Silver Star affirmation. Silver Star, I'm Silver Star, and they're crowning me and putting the sash on, and it's 2011 March in Las Vegas. And your brain's going, yeah, right, that's not going to happen. These people are better, blah, 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 whatever you're thinking. So let's say your brain chugs with that. And so even though you say your affirmation, it's almost like a negative because your brain's tugging with it. Then there's 2 ways you can change this and help yourself out. One is by doing a choose statement, but the one, and which I'll explain in a minute, but the one I prefer is the because statement, okay? Because your little brain is not going to be able to fight this. So you say, it's March 2011, and I'm on stage. They're crowning me a Silver Star, getting my sash, because I ended up sponsoring 10 rock stars that just knocked it out of the park. 12 rock stars that knocked it out of the park. So the point here is, if in the case of the 12 rock stars, your brain can't argue with that because, okay, you signed up 12 rock stars that knocked it out of the park. So obviously you did become Silver Star. So you can say that over and over right now, speak in the present, but give a because statement as to why it happened, and your little brain won't fight with you. Yeah. The way of doing the choose is, let's say it's a different kind of goal, and you want to say, I'm a powerful leader, and you're having a self-esteem issues, and your brain's fighting with that. And you can say, I choose to be a powerful leader because I am listening to all the powerful leaders around me and following their advice. So I choose to learn the steps to be a powerful leader. Those I choose statements is like a process versus an affirmation. Okay, I'm getting a roll it up sign. Okay, next one is 6, is communicate with your support people. Okay, the support people, which Char clearly is not. Okay, communicate.
I'm one of your people.
Okay. Okay, the support people are the people around you. Communicate with your support people. You know who they are, but you want to communicate with them because when we're feeling low, those are the people that are going to get you back going and get you high again. And lastly, the obvious one, attend Passion Parties gatherings, local meetings, events from corporate, anything you can possibly do, product launches, whatever. Attend Passion Party gatherings, because who are you going to be surrounded by? Your fellow Passion Party sisters. And who are you going to get the most support from? The same people. All right, thank you very much.